Hello and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 8 Experts video with me, Holly Shand. In today's video, I've asked the experts all the important questions on which players you should keep or sell, and there's certain topics that are definitely dividing opinion, with a big captaincy call to make in the experts team for this week. Help me get this one to 500 likes and subscribe to the channel if you don't already. Let's get into it. Starting off at Newcastle United then, and Botman and Wilson have both seen significant sales this week, having missed out in game week 7 through injury. Anthony Gordon picked up his 5th yellow card of the season and has also seen himself suspended for game week 8. He will be back in game week 9 though. 86% of the experts have encouraged owners to keep him, bench him this week, and obviously he's a great pick going forward with Barnes injured. 71% now opting to sell Botman, who looks like he's going to miss out at least this week. We don't know whether he'll be back after the international break. 57% saying to keep Wilson, who looks like he could still be involved at the weekend. Moving on to Manchester City, and there's been some talk in the community this week, given Haaland's barren spell of goals and the tricky fixtures coming up, whether it's a viable strategy to move him on. But 100% of the experts have voted to keep Haaland. Alvarez to Watkins has been a popular move in FPL circles this week, but 86% of the experts have voted to also keep Alvarez, who is doing very well this season in terms of goal involvements. He's certainly playing plenty of minutes and involved in set pieces. Foden, though, managers getting a little bit frustrated with him now. 57% voting to sell. Moving on to Arsenal, Saka, he was injured, played in game week 7, went off injured, played again in the Champions League midweek, went off injured. 71% are still saying keep though. He is a doubt for the Manchester City game, but, you know, he's still a great player long term, so if there's a chance he's going to be back after the international break, it's probably wise to hold on to him. Teammate Saliba has also seen some fire sales. Arsenal still doing very well in terms of the number of big chances conceding on their goal. The experts concur with the data here, with 57% looking to keep. Brighton, we've now got news that Estupiñán's set to be out for around a month. That means 71% of the experts are voting to sell him. It's a different story though with Matoma, who is kind of dividing opinion. He's a player that a lot of managers are moving off at the moment, but 71% of the experts are voting to keep him. Less patient with Manchester United midfielders though. Both of these look like sells now. 29% only voting to keep Rashford, with 71% looking to sell. Fernandes, 43% to keep, 57% to sell. I think if you've got both, Rashford is the priority to sell of the two. Hopefully an easier move to Son if you've got a little bit of cash in the bank there as well. The difficulty with Fernandes, obviously heavily involved in set pieces. He's still got the potential to do well in any given fixture. And some managers seem to think that it could be a good idea to sell Mo Salah this week after having blanked in game week 7 because of that incorrect VAR call. 100% of the experts say to keep Salah. Different story with Mbomo though. 71% now looking to sell him after 3 consecutive blanks. It's a move that I'm looking to make in my FPL team this week as well. So some conclusive advice from the experts. Let's have a look at how the experts are getting on this season then. Let me know in the comments if you would currently feature in the Community 11 top 10. FPL Fran currently leading the way. 48 points are a bit disappointing from him in game week 7. Sees him drop down to around 250k. Catching him up is FPL Mayor after a remarkable 67 points. Graduates Josh still up there. Our experts team in 4th place, 57 points last week. We'll see exactly how we got on in just a second. Regret FPL making it into the top 10, bumping Architect and Mark Southern's down the ranking. FPL Fella also on the rise, as is Fantasy Football Hub's AI team, which now makes the top 10, 49 points, 432 overall. It's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. So as you've seen, 57 points from the experts team in game week 7. Transfer in Trippier with a 13-pointer. We cannot complain with that move at all. Colwell also came up with a late 12-pointer, pretty good from the defence, with a 6-point from Areola, who we opted to play over Onana, thanks to all of your votes. The decision between Botman and Estupinan didn't matter in the end, but it couldn't have turned out worse, with Botman not featuring and Estupinan with a -2. The attack wasn't so great though. Saka the only return in the midfield and Alvarez the only return in the forward line. Crucially, a blank from Captain Haaland, and that's got the experts thinking, and you guys thinking, of whether we should do something different going into game week 8 with City travelling to Arsenal. A real mixed bag when it comes to transfer plans then. The experts team had one free transfer, 0.2 million in the bank. 25% said to roll the transfer, 50% said to use one free transfer, 25% 2 transfers for a -4. I did ask the experts as well whether the team should wildcard this week. It was a split decision, but just winning out was to use the transfers. In terms of transfers out, 57% voting to sell Estupinan, who's now injured for a month. 33% voting to sell the injured Botman, with 33% keen to also move on Marcus Rashford with Son in mind, and then Bomo 17% opting to sell him. In terms of the transfers in, 83% wanting to move from one of those injured defenders to Matty Cash, 33% fancying Son in the midfield, with 17% looking at Neto in order to make funds work. The price changes this midweek have been pretty punishing. The experts team was priced out of going from Botman to Cash by 0.1 million, could go from Estupinan to Cash, but also priced out by 0.1 million for upgrading Rashford to Son as well. So pretty difficult in terms of those moves. So it was pretty obvious what move was made in the end. Looking at how the experts team lines up then for game week 8, 441 points, an overall rank of in the top 500k is not bad at all. First decision every week, which goalkeeper to start? Areola, Newcastle at home, Onana, Brentford at home. I asked you guys, as always, of course. Pretty tight, but 52% went Onana over Areola, so he gets the nod between the sticks. Matty Cash comes into the defence, and obviously Botman will be on the bench with that injury. Bench looking pretty light this week, by the way. So I asked you guys which of the other 3 defenders should be on the bench. Trippier away at West Ham, Colwell away at Burnley, or Udogie away at Luton. Pretty conclusive this one, 63% saying to bench Colwell this week. So it's a back line of Trippier, Cash, Udogie, Colwell, Botman on the bench. Attack stays as it was last week. No changes here. So it's still got that double up on Manchester United midfielders. Rashford and Fernandes, with Mbomo also involved in that fixture. Then we've got Maddison away at Luton. And then we've got Saka, Haaland and Alvarez all involved as these 2 teams match up, with Mubama still a non-playing substitute on the bench. I don't quite know what to expect from the team this week. It would have been great to fit Son in, but it just wasn't viable, and I had to follow the experts' advice in terms of those transfers. Big decision of the week on captaincy then. This is skewed a little bit by the experts who were keen to bring in Son this week, but in terms of the experts' vote, 50% want to go Maddison captain for Luton away, 38% going with Haaland for Arsenal away, and obviously Son didn't make it into our side, but he was doing quite well in the vote as well. I asked you guys though on the community poll who to captain between Haaland and Maddison. 75% went with Maddison captain. So that's the decision that we're making for the team this week. We are going to go captain Maddison for Luton away, with Haaland against Arsenal away getting the vice captaincy. Let me know in the comments your plans for this week then, and make sure that you're hitting the like button. Let's get this one to 500 likes. Subscribe to the channel as well. I'd love to hit 27,000 subscribers by the Game Week 8 deadline. And the notify button as well. I'll be back with the press conference stream with updates on Saka, Botman and all the others. It's scheduled for 1 o'clock tomorrow, but if some press conferences come earlier, may move that forward. That's why it's important to hit the notify button. And I'll also be live ahead of the deadline, 1 hour before the deadline on Saturday as well, to answer your questions. Do not miss them. Thank you for watching.